As a first-time mother, I was very scared and didn't know what exactly to do.
We knew no one at that time that had a child with autism or talked about the autistic spectrum. We knew nothing about it.
So when she got the diagnosis for autism spectrum, I was surprised. I just wasn't expecting it, let's say.
Being in such a anxious state, not having direction, not having any foundation, but to actually have that hope. As a parent, that's all you can ask for, is to get some hope.
Not only has research shown time and time again, but in our firsthand experience, we've been able to see that the earlier we can begin to work with the child, and through a one-on-one intensive therapy session over time, we change children's lives in this department.
Grace joined Eden just before she turned 7 years old. She was a very premature baby. She was born 17 weeks premature, so we knew from the start that she was definitely going to have some pretty significant developmental delays. What we weren't expecting really was that she was going to have such significant behavioral challenges. Grace always seemed to be like she was constantly in this state of agitation before she got to Eden, but now she spends most of her day smiling and laughing and giggling, and the amount of engagement and interaction we can get out of her, it's just been tremendous. We never expected these types of changes in such a short time. So when Emma was born, we were very happy to have another little girl and for Grace to have a sister. She started to show so many similarities to Grace in not meeting her developmental milestones, in not talking, in not just being able to do things that kids at her age were already doing. But at least I knew that we could get Emma the help that maybe we didn't realize that we could get for Grace much earlier on. One of the things I also learned from Eden with the experience we've had with Grace is that I didn't have to set my expectations so low. We could make big leaps and make big improvements with the right folks working with my girls. I think because she had the services through Wawa House and the early intervention services through Eden, that really helped her transition to a full-day program.
A strong component of early intervention is not only to treat or work with the child, but also to serve as an educator and a coach for the parent, because we recognize the importance of being that front line, that first step into this world of autism.
Bella is my oldest daughter. She is almost 13 now. She ended up having about 15 hours a week of therapy services with the Wawa House from 18 months to 3 years old. The changes in Bella during that time were huge. I have a second child that has the same diagnosis. Sophia got in immediately, and she has about 8 hours a week of therapy here at Outreach. She is so ready for preschool, and that's because of the preparation that she got in this short amount of time. That's how good the quality of therapy is here.
We have many families who will call and say, I have a child with autism, I've been out of work, my school district won't pay for it. And knowing that we've had generous donors who have established scholarship funds or given us money, we're able to be that person who can say, that's okay. It's more about the needs of your child right now. Because it's a hopeless feeling for many parents to know that there's something you can do and not be able to financially afford it.
Connor was diagnosed being on the autism spectrum just after his 2nd birthday.
The therapy that Connor really needed after the diagnosis, which was pretty significant. It was a few hours, about 3 times a week.
He would need speech therapy, he would need behavioral therapy.
And we received a scholarship, and it was for a certain number of hours. And it was actually, the description was it was from one of the Friends of Eden. It was very, very meaningful, not only financially, but also even more importantly, it opened our eyes to try to give back as well, and to make sure that other families had the same opportunities that we had to get the necessary early intervention therapy as quickly as possible.
You know, Eden continued to stay in our life. Despite being now in the school system, we were able to still utilize Eden services. Connor didn't hurt from that transition. He still had the same people in his life from Eden, and yet he was starting this new school adventure.
And to see where he is today, it's been kind of life-changing for us.
A good friend of mine, a wise man, said to me that you should lead with charity, and by leading with charity, other things follow. And I can't think of a better example of how that works so well. You always feel like you've accomplished something better than normal, better than the day-to-day when you see the difference that's being made with individuals as a result of your actions.
When you're a parent, it's this gut feeling. You know that there's something off, there's something wrong. And now I feel like she's on the right path, and a lot of those things that I had fears of have gone away because they've been addressed.
You know, raising a child with autism is certainly challenging for any parent. Now you can double it when you have 2 girls now with autism, and it can be very overwhelming, but it doesn't feel that overwhelming because I feel like I have, and my girls have, the backing and the support of this amazing organization of people.
You just don't know what the future holds. You just know that you have them with you for that ride and for that guidance, that the whole entire time you know you have someone there for you. And that's where I feel Eden has been for us the whole entire time, by our side.